All right. Okay. All right. So uh, this is, I think, class number 24 in our Millionaire Mentorship series. And the important thing about the important thing about this class number 24 is that this is the first class of the year. We're entering a brand new year in 2013. And someone shared a very powerful, let me see, I'm going to put us on mute. Mhm. I'm going to share a very powerful theme for this year, and it's called Living the Dream in 2013. Let's say that again. Living the Dream in 2013. I think Carolyn and Jemay, I'm not sure. I think Carolyn shared it with me first. But when I heard it, I said, that's it, Living the Dream in 2013. So along those lines, as we begin to really set up for 2013, we once again must really focus on goal setting. And, you know, at the end of last year, I think all of us had set goals for what we want to do, be, and have in the new year. And if you haven't, then when we complete this lesson, get off, get yourself a piece of paper and write your goals down. And as they say, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets that he may run that readeth it. Well, assuming that you've written it down and just thinking of some of the different, we call it goal areas, then how do you really accomplish your goals over the next year? And we like to look at a lot of this is coming from our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, but also from our life experiences, the things that we've done over the last few years that have worked and that have not worked. So we're looking at first what's called a success plan. If this year is going to be your year, then you have to make a success plan. And a success plan is an organized set of rules that allow you to produce desired results. I'll say that again. A success plan is an organized course of action which allows you to produce desired results. Now, you always produce results. And the key to successful living is to produce the results that you desire. You know, we often say that life is like a garden, and you have to plant flowers and cultivate your garden. But whether you plant flowers or not, the weeds will grow. For some reason, the universe says that weeds will grow on their own. And so, whatever you do, either action or inaction, you will produce results. But for 2013 to be your year, you have to produce desired results. And so making your success plan, there's a chapter in the book on, I think, chapter 7, the law of action. And if you haven't done it, you need to get the book, and you can get it at www.12uls.com, or you can order it right off our website, I think, if you're watching us on the computer. But once you start to write your success plan, I mean, think about this. When you go to borrow money at a bank, they ask you, what is your business plan? And so I think your life is at least as important as buying a house, building a business, creating wealth. And so what is your success plan for your life for this year? Well, one of the key things is to purchase a daily planner when we start getting ready. If you don't have a daily planner is really your record of activities on a day-to-day basis, and it's also your plan of action on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have a planner, get one. Go out and get one today. They'll be gone pretty soon, but you need a daily planner. Number two, you need to write your goals, your vision, and your target dates in your planner. Okay? Now, if you can't write them in your planner, think about this. They will not be accomplished. And so we say, if we want this year to be different from last year, Did you have a planner, and did you write your goals and the target dates in your planner? Most of us didn't. But those who did, let me tell you, success is on the way. You know, it is said that, I think the Yale University studied it, the people who wrote their goals over a period of, think of uh, 40 years, that a certain group of students were monitored, and those who wrote their goals and read them consistently on a daily basis uh, were worth more. I think about 3% of the test group wrote their goals and read them over on a daily basis. But those 3% were worth more financially than the other 97% combined. So there's science, there's power, there's historical proof to write your goal and the target dates in your planner. You want to list the actions that must be done each day to accomplish your goals and when they must be performed. So we're talking about your life plan for the upcoming year. And by the way, your goals should have categories. You know, financial goals, we tend to focus on those because they're probably easier to monitor. But financial goals, personal goals such as your health, your weight, your appearance, your habits, economic goals, or you might say professional goals, your business, your job, your educational development, family goals, how you will relate to your family and the kids, uh, community goals, what's going to be your role in the community, how involved are you going to be, what do you want your community to look like, and spiritual goals. You know, we are spiritual beings operating in a material world. So spiritual goals, what do you need to, who is the be that you want to become? When we talk about I am is the creative power, and the first order of I am is who are we? Who am I? And so with those goal categories, you want to start writing the target dates and the actions under each category. List the actions that must be done to accomplish each goal and the dates they must be performed. This may take 3 or 4 pages, because as you look at your blueprint and think about this plan as a blueprint for your success. When you build a building, you always have a blueprint. You know, when Sandra and I travel and we see houses that seem to just sort of evolve room by room, we can tell they didn't have a blueprint. One day, Uncle Charlie woke up and said, I think I'll build a room out here. And then the next year, I think I'll expand the kitchen over here. And so it just looks like a step-by-step happenstance. But when you have a blueprint, you know exactly what it's going to look like when you finish. And so your plan is your blueprint for success this year. Spend the time on it. Today is January 5th. Don't let Monday come without having your life plan written with the actions, the dates, the goals, the actions, and the dates. Write a brief narrative statement of how you intend to achieve your goals. A brief statement might be something like, you know, I intend to accomplish the following goals and lay them out. Let's just look at this business goals. I intend to achieve a certain level in my business. And in order to achieve this level, I must do the following. I must sell product. I must sponsor people. I must invest. Okay. The most important things that I must do are listed in a B, C, D, you know, so that you have a priority, because priority is key. In other words, you know, from moment to moment, you ask yourself, what is the best use of my time right now, considering my goals, my vision, and my purpose? And then when you have your list of activities that must be accomplished, then you can determine the best use of your time. The tools that you need to accomplish your goal and how you will obtain them. That's a part of your, you might say, your narrative for attaining your goals for this year and making this year your year for success. Okay? Memorize your plan. You know, when you watch a football team, they have set plays. They don't have to look at a situation and say, what do you think we should do now? And so with you, memorize your success plan statement so that you can say it over and over. Anything that you burn into your subconscious mind will become a source of energy in your conscious mind and in your life. Next, start right away, doing the most important things first. One of the keys to getting stuck is to do what we call spend dollar time on penny jobs. In other words, all of us have a certain amount of time, certain amount of hours each day. And if we spend time doing penny jobs, organizing, cleaning up, it's important to create an environment in which to work, but those are things that can be done at times that are not, you might say, your main business times. If your business is open from 9 to 5, think about this. If you own the restaurant from 9 to, and you're serving customers from 9 to 5, then between those hours, you wouldn't start painting the place and organizing the dishes. In other words, you want to always keep the main thing the main thing. Next, you want to develop a timetable, a master timetable that shows all the actions that must be performed in each area of your life. And then you want to plan all these actions so that must be performed, you might say, on a daily basis. Whatever our goals are for the year, there's always something we can do today to make it happen. And then finally, monitor your progress closely and evaluate your results. You have to crack your own whip. You have to run your own ship. And so in that context, with that sort of infrastructure in place, let's look at we'll call it a formula for achieving your goals. One, to set a goal for 1 year. Example, if it's a monetary goal, I'll say at the end of this year, I would like to have accumulated $48,000. Okay, goal for 1 year. And write that goal in your planner, read it over, place copies on your refrigerator so that it stays in your mind. Number 2, determine what must be done to accomplish your goals for that year. So, if we were talking, for example, monetary goal, if your goal was to accumulate $48,000 by the end of the year, okay, then what must be done to accomplish those goals? Well, you got to generate income. You got to make sales. You got to call people. Okay? So you lay those things out. What are the income generators? What are the things that must be done to create $48,000 stash by the end of the year? Then third, you must set monthly goals that will lead you to your full year goals. So one of the nice things about dealing with money is it's pretty easy to lay it out. So if your goal is $48,000 by the end of the year, and there are 12 months, then you're looking at what do I have to do to set aside $4,000 each month. Okay. So now you have a monthly goal. Now, what do you have to do the next step is to determine what you must do to accomplish each monthly goal. So then, what do I have to do to make enough money that I can set aside $4,000 a month? Well, you have to look at your financial situation. I picked a big number just because I wanted to impress you. But if you think about this, just saying, if I'm setting aside 20% of my income to go into my stash, then 20%, if I'm setting aside $4,000 a month, then I need to be making $20,000 a month to be able to stash $4,000 a month. So now you got a goal. What do I have to do to generate $20,000 a month in income? All right. So now then you take that first month, for example. Your first month, it always boils down to today. So if I need to generate $20,000 a month in income to be able to save $4,000 a month, to be able to have $48,000 at the end of the year, then what do I have to do this week to accomplish my goal for the first week is to earn $5,000, generate $5,000 in income. What do I have to do to generate $5,000 in income? And you list out the activities. Then the next step is to set daily goals for the first week of the first month. And so if $5,000 is what you need to generate this week, and let's say you're working 5 days a week, then that means you have to have a daily goal of $1,000 a day in sales, in income. Now, and then you want to determine what actions must be done to accomplish each daily goal. Well, just think about this. If we think about our business, uh, looking at one of our bonuses, when we enroll a person into our business, and those of you who are in other businesses, you can translate that. If you enroll a person in our business, for example, on the Vantage level, then you earn $260. And so if you need to earn $1,000 a day just from your own efforts, then you would have to enroll 4 people a day. Okay? Now, is that realistic? Not really. Okay, but at least now you look at this and you can say, well, enrolling 4 people a day is a challenge. Maybe I need to revise my game plan a little bit and skew it. Because we have a concept of residual income, because we have a leverage concept, let me now see how I can apply the power of leverage and the gradual activity so that I can, if I were doing all this work myself, boy, that's kind of challenging to make $1,000 a day. But if I look at the period over the year and look at the leveraged income, then we can say, okay, well, let me start out consistently. What can I really do a day? Okay, and then how can I build on that to create the income necessary that by the end of the year I have my $48,000 in the stash? Well, you start setting your daily goals now. It may be that I need to sponsor 1 person a day. Okay, now that can be done. We look at some of our superstars and they've sponsored 20 people in a month. That's about 1 a day, 5 days a week. Okay. That may not be realistic for you, but the idea is to create some daily rhythm that will produce desired results. And so it may be that say, well, let me look at the power of leverage, and if I can enroll or sponsor 1 person a week, now that's very, very doable. Okay, and how do I do that? Well, I need to tell the story or present at least 4 times or 5 times that week to have a good chance to sponsor 1. So now, when we look at that $48,000 at the end of the year, it may boil down to I need to do 1 presentation a day, 5 days, 6 days a week, and then to build the team and leverage other people, since we're in a leveraging business. And John Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Then when we use that leverage concept, we see how at the end of the year you can have your $48,000. Keep a record of your achievement. That when you keep a record of your achievement, in other words, you keep score. There's no game where there's a winner or a loser where they don't keep score. And so in your life plan, you got to keep score. Did I do my 5 presentations this week? Did I do 1 today? In other words, when you keep score, you can't fool yourself. Many people don't like to keep a record of performance because they don't like to keep score, because when they keep score, they realize that they're not doing anything, or they're not operating up to task. Learn from past failures, but don't let them slow you down. Sometimes we get sidetracked. Stuff happens. People get sick. Other people's crises interrupt our flow. And so it may be that a whole week goes by. I mean, we've seen it in our business and in our lives, especially when you have health crises and things like that, where you just can't do it. Well, does that mean that a year from now you're going to scale down your goal and say, instead of 48,000, let's go for 24? No, it means that you have to adjust your activity to compensate for stuff that didn't work, or for sidetracks, or for distractions. And so if a whole week went by and you didn't do a single presentation, you didn't sponsor anybody, then next week you need to double your efforts. So instead of 1 a day, do 2 a day. The idea is when you live in day-tight compartments, you eliminate having to do extra work to catch up. But when things happen, you stay on your schedule. So if it didn't happen this week, then next week you got to double up. Okay. So now think about this. This daily activity is so powerful that if you miss your 5 presentations of week 1, you don't double up in week 2, you miss in week 3. In week 4, you've got a lot to do to accomplish your monthly goal. You've got to really throw down. And that's one of the reasons that in our business and in any business, we call it the 2-minute drill. At the end of the month, when you look at your monthly goals, that's the time to go the extra mile, to do what must be done. If you throw in the towel at the end of the month, then you have basically sealed your fate at the end of the year. So when we look at it, the final part is to stick to your goal until it is done. You know, seeking you shall find, asking it shall be answered. But how long? Until you get it. Knocking it shall be opened. How long? Until you get it. So if we want to make this year the year that we want it to be, we must first write it out, that which we want to do, be, and have, our goals, okay, our vision. Okay. 2, we need to have that planner. 3, we need to operate on we call it a daily action plan, which feeds into your weekly action plan, which feeds into your monthly action plan, which feeds into your year results. Folks, there are a lot of things that can happen. Obstacles will stand in your way. Other people's crises will stand in your way. But don't let the appearance of an obstacle create an atmosphere of failure. You know, many times we can look at things and say, wow, it's just not working. Well, it may be the appearance of not working. It may be that you're not working hard enough. It may be that you're plowing in the wrong field. Sometimes people spend their life doing things that they don't like to do. It may be that this may be your year to make a total change and say, you know what? Let me find my true purpose in that which I love to do. And then as I proceed, I'll never work again. I'll be doing what I love. Challenges will come up also. In addition to obstacles, situations will arise. But learn the art of resolving situations so they don't block you. Learn how to analyze the situation. Learn how to look at alternative solutions. Develop the skill of evaluating the possible solutions so that you can always come out on top. Picture the consequences of every decision. When you make a decision to delay or to procrastinate, it has an effect. You get an outcome. Get advice. As you go along this goal for this year, if things are not going the way they are, get advice from somebody who's been there. Okay? Even if things are going the way they are, get advice from someone who's done even greater things than you. Stick to your decision and resolve that no matter what happens, that you will win, that you will snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, that no matter what, this time it will be you whose vision is realized. Folks, this is a great year, an important year, just the tip of the iceberg, but this is your year to take it and make it exactly the way you want to be. I love the song, I Believe I Can Fly. This is your year to fly. This is your year to spread your wings. It says, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Well, this is your year to fly. But in order to fly, you must learn how and put it into practice. So make 2013 your year, 2013, living the dream in 2013. And it is done.